Good morning. Okay, looks like I need some more coffee. Anyways, I was looking at my plants this morning and I noticed my Vicks needs a haircut. Look at this girl. This is from winter. She's like been fat and lazy like me. So now it's time to waken up and get a haircut and freshen up a bit. So I'm going to propagate from her today. All right, so what I have in here is a mix of peat moss and a Performance Organics container mix soil, or you can use any kind of container soil, but you definitely want to add some peat moss to it because it just lightens it up, fluffs it up. You don't want packed soil when you're doing cuttings. You can also use sand. I've done that and it works fine. That's better for hardwood cuttings. But for plants, a good peat moss in your soil's awesome. Alright, and now I'm just going to fill in this flat here. You can use a flat with no holes, or you can use, whatever works best for you. Fill it in. You don't want to push it and pack it. Just leave it loose. At least this is from my experience. Alrighty, so see here how this stalk has started to. This is because when I cut it last time, wherever you cut, at the nodes here, you will see that there are extra little leaves there. Those will grow new stems. So that's what happened here. They always come into a Y. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut. I'm going to go ahead and cut her here. And then, actually no, I take that back. I'm going to go ahead and cut here and separate these two. Alrighty, so I cut this one off and I picked off the bottom large leaves. And there's a few of those little ones on there, but those will stimulate some root growth. So what I'm going to do is tap it in some root growth hormone and stick her in there. See how nice and loose that is. Keep it like that. It helps give the roots more room to grow. I like to use Fertilome. That just seems to work good for me. Alrighty, she looks so much better. I went through and cut off all these long stems, and what I'm going to do is go in and take these and I'm going to cut above a set of leaf nodes and then take off some of these larger ones at the bottom here and then just stick this into the dirt. So I have quite a few here to go through. Easy to propagate. It is a succulent. So the soil here is loose. It's a little bit dry. Once I get them in there, I'm going to spritz it with water because they don't need a whole lot. And then when you take cuttings from a succulent, it does not need to be in sunlight. They like to be, especially since they do not have roots yet. So you can put a dome on here, put them somewhere where it's kind of dark, not super dark, but also not where it's very bright or where there's sun, because they do much better until they start rooting. Well, they need more sunlight. Anyway, so I'm going to go through these. The Vicks plant, if you don't have one, is a very soft, fluffy leaf. Smells wonderful. You can take these, cut them. Of course, I can't do it barehanded, but if you squeeze these, it's like an aloe. There's this juice in here. It's hard to see, sorry. You can smell that. You can add that to warm water and drink it as a tea for anybody that might have a cold or stuffy. It does help. You can make a salve with it so that you can rub it on your child's neck or chest. That's what it's wonderful for. yeah, you can see the juices in there. So anyway, it's a great plant to have. There it is. Sorry, my fingers are dirty. I have dirty hands. What can I say? Gardener's life. So there you go. I'm going to go through these and fill that flat up. So if you see here, see where I cut that? Each one of these is going to grow a new stem, so that comes out into a Y, kind of like that. And then each one of those you can cut off later and make a new plant. So each one of these will make a new stem. So you can just cut it right above the next set of leaf nodes. And this plant will do great. It's the mother plant. Looks like I need to trim that one off. And there she is. All right. I'm getting a bunch of these in there. Just push it in till you get to the bottom of the next set of leaves. Some of these look a little wonky, but I got some in there, and I skip a section just because when they get a little loopy like that, it gives them more room to grow. And there's those. And then now I have all this these extra leaves and stuff. I'm just going to store those. You can freeze them and use them later. If you dry, I mean, you can dry Vicks leaves out, but the whole point is to get the juice out to use that. So you can put them in a freezer baggie and freeze them, or use them fresh right away. Or the best thing to do maybe is to, you can fill a jar full of your leftovers. You can use the stems as well. Put all that in a jar and then cover it with your favorite base oil. Maybe not coconut oil, but you could use almond oil, avocado oil, something that this can sit in for a good 4 to 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, to make a nice salve. Put these on a cutting board and chop them up a little bit so that those juices will come out when you let that sit in that oil for, a couple months. So there you go. All right, I just sprinkled some water on top. Got the soil a little wet, a little bit soaked through, and probably should maybe water them about once a week, maybe twice a week. Thank you for stopping by today.